Tēnā koutou katoa. This is Mental Health Awareness Week and the theme is connection. This is a topic close to my heart. It's a whole chapter actually in the brand new book, my 8th book that's out next month in October. And it's something that I think means so many things. I also think it's something that contributes to so much of the ill health or the dis-ease that we see around us in our modern world. We have a loss of connection in many things, and that is impacting our state of being. And of course, this is ironic when we are probably the most connected we've ever been in terms of our social media revolution. We are so connected virtually and online, and yet we lack real meaning and connection. And I think in this space of lacking real connection, we tend to feel a bit untethered. It's a bit like a boat that's not anchored. We drift. And I think it has a knock-on effect, not just in terms of our own lives, our own mental health and our state of being, but also in our environments, in our workplaces, employee engagement. The fact that we struggle sometimes to connect to a meaning and a purpose behind what we do. And for me, connection is many things. Yes, there is the obvious social connection to other humans. And when we're connected with people, and I mean this from a place of compassion and kindness, when we're connected to other humans, what we see is less division and more unity. So less conflict, less discrimination, less hate, when we can connect to each other on a human level. And of course, that also helps with the loneliness epidemic we have, that connection to others. But connection's so much more than that. Connection, I think one of the biggest connections that impacts our state of being and who we are in the world is our connection to ourselves. This is understanding who we are at our essence, knowing what makes us tick, living in alignment to our values, and that then helps us in turn connect to something bigger. And by this, I mean meaning and purpose. And so this is our reason to get out of bed in the morning. It is the thing that we know what makes us tick, and then we get to bring that into the world as well and make an impact. And that is, of course, connecting to something bigger than ourselves that brings about this sense of meaning and purpose. But beyond that, there's other forms of connection that are so vital for our mental health and our state of being and general wellness. Connection to nature being one, so often overlooked. There is a reason that doctors prescribe green therapy these days. We came from nature, we are inextricably connected to nature, and when we have too much time away from nature, we lose that connection that is fundamental to our health. There's also the connection to the present, right? And this is so important and what we talk about a lot in terms of state of being. That ability to remain calm and connected always exists in our present moment, and being able to be mindful and connect to the present. And again, we are human doings rather than human beings these days, and we struggle sometimes to connect to the present, to be in the now. We're so often doing and we're busy, and our schedules take over that sometimes we forget to carve out that time to just reconnect with the present. And all of this, when we reconnect with the present, with nature, with ourselves, with something bigger than ourselves, and with each other, all of this helps us have this state of being that I've referred to as harmony. It's the title of the new book, something I'm talking a lot about. But it's this inner contentment, this inner peace, this sense that I am a solid foundation and I can move through the world as myself regardless of what goes on around me, and have this equanimity inside. So I believe that comes from this deep connection to many, many things. And I think it's something that particularly this week we're talking about in light of Mental Health Awareness Week. So my question for you is, how might you disconnect from the busyness, from the doing, from your virtual worlds, so that you can reconnect with what really matters? Spend some time connecting to the present, reconnecting with ourselves, with others, with what matters, with something bigger. And of course, we can only do that when we're not connected elsewhere. So giving this opportunity to disconnect from the busyness and doing, to reconnect with ourselves and the things that matter. I think this is always an important thing to consider, but definitely this week during Mental Health Awareness Week, probably more important than ever.